Welcome to join the conversation and happy Friday, the last Friday of August 2026, and it will never come again. Now I'm excited. We are left with other two sessions. We have a session on the 30th and the 31st. And yesterday I was on the other seat. I was interviewed. If you haven't listened to that, join the conversation where I was interviewed by my friend who I met when I was in Tshego. It was a lovely session. So if you're interested, do go to the YouTube and spend time and listen and get some nuggets from there. It has been quite an amazing month since July when we're doing Join the Conversation. One might ask, what is it about? It's about where I ask women from all walks of life to share their nuggets and they just become themselves. There's no script, there's nothing you have to memorize, it's just to have that conversation with me. I am transformation coach Mashudu, and I'm also an engineer, and I love my journey. Go and listen to my journey as well. Besides that, I'm so excited. Welcome to everyone. If you're coming through, type who you are, where you're dialing from, and welcome our guest, and also welcome. And if you'll be listening to this as a replay, type replay and tell us, what did you learn? What are the nuggets that you received from this conversation? And normally my guests, they don't come twice, but today Tshego is back because the last time we spoke, when I interviewed her, she spoke more about cooperatives. And then today we said, let's go further and talk about that. And then she can share and educate others because when you're informed, you make better decisions. So welcome, Tshego.
Thank you, Mashudu. Thank you, everyone who joined. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And to those who are also dialed in, so say hi. If you've got questions for Tshego, type them. So I know you were here last time. Can you reintroduce yourself? Who's Tshego? What do you do?
Okay. No problem. My name is Tshego. I'm born and bred in 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, but I stay in Pretoria South. I'm into literacy. I'm into cooperatives. I'm into projects that uplift and make differences in the community. I'm a journalist, a photojournalist by profession. I loved my job. It's just that sometimes when eras change, it doesn't seem the same. Yeah, so talk to me about books, talk to me about business in terms of the cooperative. I'm always willing to lend a hand, even if it's not, but I always lead people to cooperatives because I think they are not aware of the gem that is just hidden just next to them. Yeah. There's lots of things happening in my life, but I'll stop there.
Thank you so much for sharing what you do. A lover for books, yes, she is, and a journalist. So she's got that drive and the intuitive mind as well. You mentioned that you do also cooperatives. Before cooperatives, can you just educate someone about business? What type of businesses are they before we even come to the one that you're passionate about?
Okay. Obviously, business is like when you choose a course, right? They're just as different as that. When you choose a course, you choose something that speaks to you. If you say you want to be a writer, if you say you want to be an engineer, there's something that you like. So even in business, you choose something that will go with how you do it, how you want to do something. So businesses differ from someone who owns a business alone and someone who owns business with other people. In between, there's private, there's public, but the difference is how many people we will be joined in that business. So it has all its pros and cons. They'll tell you that if you're two, for example, nothing can happen without the other. So that there's no issue of someone saying, I didn't know about this. No. So if you're alone, it's you're the jack of all trades. Everything stops with you. You're the president. Whether you hire me as a person who does your marketing, at the end of the day, it's your business. On the 𝗖𝗶𝗶 documents, registered documents, it's you, Tshego Ramoupi Monyamane. It's you only. There's no one who they'll ask. Even the pros and cons are different because then you don't have to consult anyone. It's you. You can have business advices or financial advice from the bank, but it's you. It's your own thing. It's like you're running your own household, right? Yeah. So when we get to cooperatives, it's something different. It also has a number, like a number that says this members, only this members, from this number to whatever. So there's primary, there's also secondary, there's also multi-purpose. People just need to know which one will work for them. So a cooperative is a business owned by 5 or more people. It used to be 10, but because the government has realized that people cannot really work in cooperatives, so they reduce the number because they want you so bad to do it. But they thought, okay, maybe 10 is a lot. You know, when you are having 10 subordinates, it's 10 different minds. You go crazy, you know. So the shorter the number, the better. But they didn't think it was going to have a problem because they thought it would be easier for people to get along, have a business project or a business idea and then run with it. But they realized when a lot of cooperatives were formed and people failed, that's when they got to say, no, man, maybe the problem is the number. Let's reduce the number. Let's get the number to 5, at least 5. You know, 5 is not bad. Even when you have 5 kids. Okay, I don't have 5 kids, but even if you have 5 kids, it's not like you have 10, right? So they reduced the number from 5. It used to be 10. Long time ago when I started to be interested, it was 10 people or more. Now it's 5 people or more. You know, so even if you're 5, you can get yourself together. You can talk about what you want to do. You can organize yourself. You can teach yourself. You can go to classes or courses together and form it. You know, yes. So the important thing about a cooperative is that it has to have 5 people or more owning it. Same shares, no one being on top of another. 5 people equal. You know, that's the only thing that separates cooperatives from any other business. Thank you.
So you mentioned that it used to be 10, now it moves to 5. What were those challenges that has brought that? And in your line of work, because some are written, some are not written, is what people experience. What are those?
Yeah, I think, remember, the Department of Trade and Industry works with, this is why even in town, it is next to 𝗖cie, right? There's lots of documentation that goes into people forming companies, right? So 𝗖cie, when it sent out the information to government to say, this is not working, people come here, they open up cooperatives, or they sit wherever they are online and open cooperatives, register them. But then 2 years' time or a year, they're not working. They are failing to comply. Remember, a business cannot be a business if it is not complying. You must comply. You must have your sales together. You must have your BBB or whatever that costs, depending on what you have. You must have your good standing letter. There's lots of things that you need to have, the documents. So if you don't comply, you are not compliant. You cannot run business. For me, if I put it harshly, you are illegal. You know, you're not fit to run a business because you don't have those things. No one has come to your business and looked at it and said, this is good, it can give people a service. You have not been tested. You don't have the relevant and the correct documentation. So the issue was that people could not get along. I think the problem was people could not get along. And when they don't get along, they swindle each other, they do fraud, they change their names and obviously have access to the money. Someone complains. And the issue is that with a cooperative, if someone is wrong, you need to all agree and write a letter that the person can be removed. It's not just that a case of saying out, no. So the process is so difficult so that you get along, you find help, you get, you reprimand yourself or however. So the reason is that before you can even say we are done, you must get a letter of all 4 people who say this one is not right and send it and say we don't want her, we don't want this person. These are the reasons. This is the proof. Please remove this person from our shareholders letter or shareholders list. So people didn't get along. People always, I read something yesterday and I fell in love with it. It said, go out there and do what you want and keep quiet. Go to the spa and keep quiet. Build a house and keep quiet. Fall in love and keep quiet. Because people don't tell people. People ruin beautiful things. So people are not the same. I meet you. I love what you do. I talk to you about partnership and we agree. Then in the long run, you decide in your own that Tshego is a fool, man. She's too kind. I can take advantage of her. And then you don't know in that what you will be messing up. Like you won't be messing me up alone. You also be messing yourself because you think that you can do it to other people as well. Because maybe you'll get it away with it on me and you get someone else because then you're used to it. It's a habit that you're going to do. Yeah, so people ruin beautiful things. It's just that in a cooperative, the government is saying we want to feed more than one family because then we'll be at least doing something about poverty, unemployment, skills, and growing the business. Because when your business is growing, the economy gets something from it. And you also get recognized for making sure that you are creating a job. Like if, for example, we go into farming, there's so many people who we can employ, and securities and machines. So it's a whole lot of people involved. It's not only going to be me and the cooperative shareholders, because we might not be doing a lot, but we'll be knowing what needs to be done. So we get people to assist us in terms of getting the soil correct, getting the things that needs to go into the soil. For example, we need to just know, if you're a business and you're a brand, you need to be that brand. When someone sees me, they must see what I do. So that I don't have to ask them, do you know what I do? It's because I'll be talking about it, for example. Yeah. So I think the problem is that people mess things up, people mess things up. So sometimes when you're with a good person, you don't even think it's possible. So as a result, you do something just so that it can be chaotic. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. I can't say it's natural. I'm not going to say it's human because it's not. Maybe it's a bad, I don't know the word, but it's not a good thing, but it happens, and it is common that when something is good, you feel like something is wrong. You cannot accept that this is good. This is good meat. You say no, man. Maybe it's a human meat. Maybe they put tomato sauce. You cannot really accept and acknowledge that this is good. This is why it's not easy for you to tell a person that, you know what, you are beautiful, you are talented. It's not easy for people to do that because it's like there's something wrong with this person. I find it, Yeah, so I think the issue was people were not treating each other the way they should professionally. As a result, it caused people not to be able to continue working together. And then it was easy for them to just leave it because it was not easy to just take out one person. You needed to get a signature for everyone. And remember, you can be 5 or 6, and then 4 are good, but 2 is not, and then you don't know who's on your side. And writing the letter will be difficult because the other one will tell the other. So it's just a lot of, yeah. So I wish I can write them a letter and tell them that, you know what, because of these issues and these difficulties, why can't we get a better way for people to leave the cooperative when they're not serving it? When you're not serving something that you said you will, you don't have a reason to be there. Do you understand? If you no longer believe in God, there's no need for you to go to church. You can do your church in your house and don't interview with people who believe a certain way. So if you're not serving the whole thing, you don't have to be there. You don't have a right to be there. So I think I need to send out and say, can't we have a better way? Yes, it has to be difficult because then people will misuse it again. Yeah. So how can we do it better? That when someone is not complying and reacting or behaving this way, then we can take it out. One thing I like about it is that you make your own constitution. You make it the way that you want. Your people, your members of the cooperative, you do it the way that you want. You do it in a way that it says to you, you are going to live it. You make your own Bible. It's like a church and a Bible. The Bible says, maybe the church goes with the word because it reads from it every time. So the church cannot go in and out without the Bible. So the cooperative gives you time to make your own constitution and hold yourself accountable. You say, I am going to do this. You are the one who writes it. And if it's not done that way, there must be consequences. And you must be saying, if you miss 3 meetings without an apology, without a letter that you are in the hospital, maybe you're in ICU or whatever, or without the reasons beyond, maybe there's something important that you had to do. You are not fit. You missed the meetings. You missed the engagements. You missed getting your point across 3 times. So in a way, you are delaying the process. You are not even sending out anything. The issue is that you missed, and you know the rules. That if you missed it, it means that you are out. Yes. So each and everything, like you need to think of everything that can make things go bad and right it. You can always amend it and add on it when you think of something. If you didn't think of it before, add on it so that you can make sure that it's tight. It is tight. And you must live that constitution. You must know that if you are late, or if you didn't pay, or if the company makes a certain amount of money, what happens? We shouldn't be coming together to discuss incidents. Everything should be on that. When this happens, we just refer to it. So the good thing about it is that they don't give you a constitution. You make your own individually, meaning as a team. You take everything that the individuals want and put it together. There's not even a template. You put it the way that you want so that it is you. It is your footprint. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that detailed explanation, the fact that you create your own constitution. So you mentioned the challenges, which is what you were sharing as well. So how can we overcome those challenges in cooperatives?
I like that question because it's a question of choice, right? When you want people to work with you, when you have an idea and you want to teach them, you need to get specific types of people. People who are willing to learn, people who are willing to grow in the whole thing, people who are not lazy, people who will understand that we are on the same level. I might be coming with an idea, but I'm not on top of you in terms of hierarchy or position. I might be a chairperson because we have those positions, but I'm not on top of you with anything. I'm not going to be taking more money than you, I'm not going to be the face of the business more than you. No, people need to understand it. But the only thing that can make people understand is that you sit together and explain how it works. Yes, and sit. And so before people can join or say they're interested, because people like to just go on with the flow. Yes. But when they get to understand what happens, it changes the ballgame, right? Because then they know you need to be accountable. You need to work this as if you're going to work in the morning and sit on your desk and doing 1, 2, 3. We must have a logbook that says what you did. At the end of the day, you must look at what I did, what you did. Because at the end of the day, when we have money, we need to pay salaries. And the salaries should be the same, right? I might have a position of chairperson, you might have a position of treasurer, the other one a secretary, the other one project, the other one a public, the other one a marketing person, the other one whatever. But then the nice thing is that when we agree or allow ourselves to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I see that your potential. We need to get the strengths. We need to explain, sit down, explain how it works so that a person is fully aware. I think you just said it now. When you are informed, you take better decisions. You are informed about the child having a school meeting tomorrow. So you decide, if you can't go, get someone to go in your behalf. So when they come back, you have the information. Yeah. And then a cooperative needs someone who is proactive. When you pass the street and you see the streets are dirty, you think, can we have something to do here so that we can lure the people here so that they can see that we are doing this good and they will maybe support what we do? I'm just giving an example. You look at communities and look at what they need and you come up with a project. So there's no business waiting somewhere for a cooperative to come and grab it. No, you need to think about it. You need to think. When you're sleeping, you think, Mashudu has this platform. And he's able to get 1,000 people after one, when people are at work hustling. So I can use this to my advantage. I can support Mashudu with 1, 2, 3, so that I can make her life easier. In a way, I will not be charging maybe a lot because I want to have a foot in it. And then the next time when it grows and when she also sees that it comes with a lot of potential, then we can grow to other of Mashudu's other things or people like her who's doing the same thing. So after this one engagement, you have 1,000 people and there's 5 in it who are doing the same thing. And then instead of doing one, we do every day with other 4 people, but we got the business from you. Do you understand? And they can see how it works, how easily and smooth it works. No one wants a difficult thing. Even if it's a job, if you can do it better and find a better way to do it, you'll do it because then it saves you time. It saves you headache. You can't be going to work and coming back stressed every day. It's not going to work for you. So when you are able to do something and you get a way to do it better, why not? I'm not talking about fake. I'm not talking about AI. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about if there's a spreadsheet and there's a way that I can shrink it so that a person can open it and see everything in one page. Why can't I do it that way? Because then if it's 10 pages, the person will take time to compare, looking at, okay, this is 10 rand, but that is 20. So if it's in one, it's easier. I can just simply, so if I can get a way to shrink that spreadsheet to make it shorter, but put in one page, I'll have saved that person a lot of time. A lot of time. You understand? Yes. So I think people need to sit and not be quick in agreeing to be in a cooperative. They must look at the things that they have that goes into it. From there, sit and say, okay, I can do this. It's a life-changing thing because it's forever. If we do it right, it's forever. And then we're going to be in each other's lives and everything forever, because no one wants to start a business and no one wants to start a business to fail. When you start, you want it to proceed, you want it to be successful, you want it to impact lives. You also want to take yourself out of the financial issues, like, with our economy and everything going up, like your food, your fuel, your electricity and other things. One salary is actually a disgrace, to be honest, because then you are forced to go to the banks, and that's what the banks want. You are forced to go to the banks and ask for that loan. When you get that loan, they tell you how you're going to pay them. They're not asking you; they're telling you how you're going to pay them. You going to get a loan, it gives the bank assurance that you're going to pay them, and they're gonna use that to do other things of their business, grow their business with your money, the money that you could be saving for your children or for yourself or for your business, or even doing something for your parents if they're still alive. I'm giving an example. Yeah. So the economy forces us to, for me, it forces us to think outside of what we normally do and do something else, so that we can be able to get money. Some people are selling. And when I look at people who are selling, I'm in awe because they are doing it on top of what they do, because they know that they need that second stream of income. It will it will buy small things but it makes difference, like your bread, your milk, things that finish after 3 days, Yeah, and then so if you are able to be in a business that can sustain you, that you can sustain with the hard work that you put in, you don't even need to have a second salary, for example. Maybe you're making enough to pay for your house, to pay for your car, to run around, to raise your kids, to to decrease the government's work on you, and make sure that you don't need certain things from it. But you also play part in employing people, in making people have life from the thing that you are sustaining. Imagine if you've hired 50 women and 50 men, when they think of you, they think of a person who has moved them from staying in a shack to staying in a place where it's warmer, their children can have better opportunities, and you also take them to a place where you're saying, when your child has finished matric, they are able to apply for NSFAS. So you can imagine how this thing can go a long way, whereby you make differences in 100 people's lives and their children, which is more now. And their children work towards also maybe having the cooperative because they see that it helped their parents. Now they want to own it. They are smart. Things are changing. They'll be coming with different things. Like, for example, maybe there'll be machines to do bricks. I'm just giving an example. So they get into it knowing that when people build, because there's lots of buildings happening around, then they can come to hire their brick making machine or whatever. But they think of something that is needed. So you can just imagine what will happen in 20 years. We're talking long, in 20 years, in 25 years. Even when the mother dies, you have that clause that says, this person was working for me. And then when they die, there's a percentage of the business that has to go to his family or their family, because you know that they've given their livelihood for you. They were working for you. It might not be the full salary, obviously, because the business might fall, but a certain percentage. And also, maybe you take it from their salary. I'm just giving an example so that you can also balance stuff. Yeah. My mother always says, if I was owning the world, no one will be struggling, because I think of those things that can happen. And my brother say, you can't fix the whole world. And I'm like, maybe fixing the whole world is fixing yourself so that your world becomes you. And when you're fixed, even when someone comes to contact with you, they look and they get that fixed person, the person who's has done better, And it's not only about money, but it's about impact. When I've taught you a skill, you can go and run with the skill. And we need to have people, when you are open-minded, you don't only think of an apple. You think of an apple in different areas, what it can do, It might not be a good soil here in South Africa, but you get a better soil in Lesotho, and you travel and you put all your sources there so that you're able to give them the apple. I'm just giving an example. So in cooperatives, you need people who think like that. Even when they don't, maybe they can be taught to think a different way. You show them, and if a person is willing and wants to do something to work, they will get out of their comfort zone of, I was a teacher, I was teaching English literature, and they look at other things. Oh, no, man, I can also be a sports person. So that when after teaching, I can take the kids to sports, so I can make money, or I can do it aftercare. A lot of people are parents, but they don't get to parent, I'm very selfish with my children, because I think there's no one who can do that more than me. So I want to be there. When it comes home and says, Mom, there's a meeting on Tuesday about you choosing subjects, I literally stop and get to understand what's happening and what needs to be. So that's me. I won't sleep if I don't do that. Yeah. So people parents, but they are parents. I don't know if they were parents by mistake or by default or they wanted, but they don't understand how parenting actually, how big and huge it is. My daughter will tell you, if my mom comes in and finds these dishes, she's going to flip. I'm giving an example. Yeah. And if she can't do them, I tell her, I will do them myself. I don't want my kitchen to be like, I'm just giving an example. So they grow up with that knowing that, no. But we sometimes we're nicely talking about it. Sometimes it's not nice, That's how life is. Yeah. So I think people are sitting on their talent and things they can do. And one thing I like about cooperatives is that you can mushroom, you can do whatever. It's not, even if you do agriculture, it doesn't close you on agriculture only. If you had an opportunity for culture, that's good. But you can get something like a steel project somewhere in Namibia. Why not? They might not be having the good steel that we have. But you need, for all these things to happen, you need to educate yourself. That's a big thing. Hence, I want people who are also willing to read. When I do my posters, I say, you must be willing to read. You must be willing to educate yourself. Because I can't sit with a book and read for you. No. You need to sit with yourself when everybody else is sleeping and read. Educate yourself on what this means. When you have issues, we can talk about it. We also have, okay, my cooperative is going to be something else, because guys, it's going to be not only dealing with skills, it will also deal with behavioral something, so that we can know, man, you can know how to tackle this thing without even fighting, talk about it, put it on the table without even fighting. Because then, when you read, Mashudu, you become a different partner, whether it's in journal or whether it's at work, or partner in terms of business. Because then reading makes you different, right? I always say that reading makes you different. The conversations of people who read are different. Now, everybody's talking about Madlanga, but you will be talking about the lawyers, and how they look at something and are able to make it in 10 pieces, so that you don't incriminate yourself, but you think twice before you can ask. So you will not be talking about Madlanga per se. You'll be talking about the level of legal eagles in there, Yeah. So you'll be talking different things. Oh, Madlanga. Okay, I didn't know Madlanga, by the way, before this. And then the minute I got to know that he's heading the commission, I went to find out who he is, right? And I was like, okay, yeah. But that when you read, you look at how the position, the posture, and how they answer. You don't just listen to them talking about cats or Maumela or 𝗖cie or Masemula. Or no, you look at how they do it. And then if you're a lawyer, it's even worse, because you know what certain the lawyer jargon that they use. I mean, I have to go to a book and check a dictionary. What does this mean? Right? Because they're using it, it's their language. Lawyers know it. I'm not a lawyer, And then I learned. Okay, I love lawyers because they write better than journalists. They write better than anyone, because lawyers write in their profession. So when they write a book, the book becomes a bomb automatically. Yeah. If you can check lawyers who have read, if you can look at the Bugata, that they become Musenek, you see that it's about his life, but this is a lawyer who's written it. It's so, man, I can't explain it. I'm sorry. And it's the book that you will go to now and then to see, did I miss something? And you didn't miss anything. Like, he went through the whole page. There's a part that he's talking about apartheid apprehending young kids. I mean, he was 15, when he was sent to Robben, he was 15. 15, like 1-5, you were a teen, you were a juvenile. The Constitution doesn't say that. It says when you're under 18, you go to a smaller nyana of your age, so that they can be able to still work on you, because then you're not an adult. You did not think, or you don't have that, you're not matured yet, But apartheid didn't take that nonsense. It was saying this one is going to ruin us and we're going to take him away. So the mother, after some while, the mother and the father traveled from Pretoria in Atteridgeville to go there to see their son. The mother had it. Mothers are nurturers. So the mother
Yeah.
had a chicken wrapped in some nice cloth and all that. And
Yeah.
then when they got to see the son, you can imagine a 15-year-old, maybe short and, bruised in terms of emotionally. You can see that they're not having a time of their lives. Yeah, it's not easy. It's in prison. They are with hardcore people, whatever. Maybe someone tries to, prison life. And then they get to be in the room with the parents and the son, and they're looking at the son and they're talking to the son. And the mother takes out the chicken and gives. He says, "I ate it. I'm sure I'm sure in 5 minutes I was done. I even ate the bones." It was that good. And when you're in a prison, obviously, maybe you don't eat the food that is lovely made. We cook with love. Besides skills, we cook with love. So when you're in prison, whose love is being given to the food? It's a lot of food, and you just put salt and the eat. You don't even care about mafofa, or if there's blood there. Someone didn't wash it properly, so why do you care? But then when it's done by your mother, you know that they are mostly going to consume it. So it's something special. He says, "I ate that in like 5 minutes. I even got on about it, keep putting my rap, then and I got made. It was that good. Yeah. So it's your. I don't know. I think after that maybe he didn't sleep better. Because then you saw your mom. When I look at my mom, I see God. I see the world. I see someone who will always put a hand for me to be shielded, and I know when I'm with her, nothing can ever happen to me. That's just how it is. Yeah, whether we get stuck or, but when I'm with my mom, I'm with that country that I lived in before I could even come out. I'm giving you an example. And I was careful because I came out bubbly or whatever. There was nothing wrong with me. Yeah. So when you do something, you must know what it takes for yeah. So when you want to be risking your life and being in business with 5 or 6 other people, you must know that first of all you are different. You are different. You are not the same personality, characters, and other things you can put and improve on the way because you see that it will work for you. For example, when you see that in the morning I walk and it gives me a better skin or a better flow of the day, you see the importance of me walking. So when we get to meeting, I'm always maybe active, and you ask me, "But where do you get this energy?" And I say to you, I walk in the morning to clear my head. I hike in the morning to get the mountain air. And you're like, "No, man, why can't we do it as a group?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can actually do it." So you introduce people to certain things that will make them, maybe they were not aware that they can do it because they thought of themselves, "I mean, I'm lazy." But then when they walk to 500 meters to the shop and back, it's about almost a kilometer or whatever. So if they can do it frequently, they will increase the stamina, they will like it, they will see the effects on their bodies, Or if someone is eating right, and then we're seeing every time when we're eating, we're taking chips and they're taking only avocados, and we look at and like, because besides the sugars and high commodities like your high blood and stuff, they tell you everywhere that you need to balance what you eat and have a certain protein. So certain things are not good because, and if someone has fallen ill in your family because of something, you take note because you've seen them changing. You've seen them having a hard time because of something so simple like eating a lot of fat. So maybe you can reduce because you know how it looks like on someone else. Yeah. So I don't think that we need to all make the same mistakes. I think if I make a mistake, you can learn from my mistake and do it better. We can all go to Roman Islands for 27 years like Mandela and come out and say forgive them. Or no, we can look at things that can make you not to go in the first place. Yeah. And then, okay, maybe I'll give a better example because it was the time of apartheid and they knew that if they remove these people who looks like they can be influential, then they will have solved their problems. But I can't be going into a business and not doing things right and then come back the same. You, if you want to go into business, you will do right because you know how it did affected me. I didn't do right. Maybe I ate the money or I used the money wrongly. I purchased things that I did not need because it was things for my house and that I could have saved from my salary instead of using the company's money. As a result, it dented a company accounts, and then we were forced to go to liquidation or something. So even when we talk about liquidation, you need to know what liquidation is so that you can understand how to explain it and how to avoid it. So you see, there's a lot at play. And a company, remember, it has a lot of departments. It has an HR, it has a finance. The big part of it is finance because that's when you see if you're making it or if you're not making it. And then it has the side of projects where you see where you are, how you can go further, how much time you have to complete this thing. Are you going to be able to deliver on time? Things like that. So the education that goes into business is huge. It's a course that never ends. And you pass the course by being practical. You pass the course by going the extra mile and finding out things and how you can do them better. You know, it's not for sissies. My uncle Rakgadi wa ka wa monna likes to say, "Bophelo a se ba di-sissies." Life is not for sissies. You can't be a sissy and expect to live. You know, and it's a lot of things that goes into it. And when you are willing. When you are willing, you have that thing in you that says, I want to do this, you will do it because you will find out how to do it and you will learn how to do it. You will find things that needs to happen that you need to know about it and you will do it. It's not something that is meant for other people. You must know that you can do it if you want to do it, you know? Yeah, so I think people are sitting on cooperatives. They need to go and learn about it and check and read on it and read on the positives about it and read on those cooperatives that really exist and find out how they do it, what discipline. You know, you can have the money, the beauty, the talent, but if you don't have discipline, you have those things wrongly because you need to be disciplined. Even when you have the best body, you know that you need to maintain it so that it can maybe give you a leverage in terms of maybe you're competing or maybe you are doing fusions. Because if you say I have a beautiful body and you don't do anything to keep it that way, it will get out of control. It will surprise you, and the next thing you have something and you gain weight and you're asking yourself, is it possible? But it's because you don't take care of it. If you take care of something, it will also sustain you because you take care of it. And if you don't take care of something, you will lose it eventually because maybe there's a forces that happens and the force can see that this person doesn't care much about me. Let me just move and find better sunshine and find better water. Maybe next to a stream, I'll be okay because then there's water there. So it's like taking care of plants. I love plants. I'm checking for one close by. The way that I treat them and how when I put more soil or manure, because I make my own manure. So I take the food that have to go to compost and put it in a compost. After a while, like maybe a year, I'm able to take out the compost. Is the compost that you buy at nurseries or garden where they sell garden stuff. So I make my own compost. Yeah, I make my own compost. It takes longer because obviously it has to compost. Yeah. But then when I put it on the plants, I tell the plants, I've got something for you. And I take out the topsoil and put it and then put on top. And you see later on, it's like the plant is saying thank you. It's different. It's shining. And I know, yeah. So I talk to it and I say, yeah. So when you take care of something, obviously when you love something, you take care of it. There's no difference. There's no love without care, right? The caring makes love make sense. Makes love do go beyond your limits because you're caring. If you love me and you care about me, when you call me and you find that I'm not well, you do something about it. The instinct care in you will kick in, and like, I don't think she's fine. That's not how she is. Yeah. So people need to understand that they have to sit in boardrooms and learn this business. They can do it while learning. That's how it goes, because you cannot learn everything and then start working. You must learn work. So as you learn, you're working, Yeah. And then the big part that makes things go sour is the finances. When we talk finances, we are talking something that most people cannot handle, right? That's why we have financial advisors, we have financial literacy facilitators, because they teach you about money. They give you the psychology around money. There's books on money. There's a book for everything. Maybe because I love books, I'll advocate for books, but there's a book for everything. So there's book about misusing money. There's book about using money good, So you find those things and you read about it, because then those things happen to some people and they felt they needed to warn us about it. Yeah. So
whilst you're still there, let me just welcome. There are people who joined as well. Welcome. So we're talking about businesses and cooperatives as well. And she's been sharing her journey and also sharing different nuggets on how you can navigate it. So if you've got a question for her, do ask as well, because we're almost at the end of the session. But yes, I just wanted to share that. And if there's something that you're learning, which is, and you want other people, as they listen to this, they can get those nuggets. So do type in the comments as well. Yes, okay. You can carry on.
Okay. When we grew up, there was this thing of finances. People will be going to be accountants, Yeah. You need accountants in your company, because with their skill of finance, they will tell you how you're doing and they will do your books, right? You might not be fully skilled on doing your own books. And also, it's too close to home. Someone who doesn't know anything must be the one doing it, because then they can check and find faults if there are faults, right? When if it's your thing, you can easily write it down and say, I bought milk, but milk is an expense. And if it's 20 rand or 50 rand, it makes a difference, right? I used to work in the bank. They said, if I was a tailor back in the days, so every day there's a balance that has to happen. What they gave you, what you made, and the total. Obviously, after everything that you have given out, withdrawals, whatever, yeah. So what they gave you and what you made minus what you have given out. So if your money is more, 1 rand more, it means you have robbed a customer. And if your money is 1 rand less, it means you have stolen it.
So what should happen?
You need to make sure that there's nothing. If it's not zero in accounting, it doesn't make sense. After you balance, if it's not zero, then it doesn't make sense. If it's -1, even if it's 1 cent, it means that you have robbed a customer. So there's no room for those things, Yeah. So it was teaching you the language of money. So now, if it's me doing my own company books, I will not be strict. I will just let it go and say it was just milk. It's not just milk. The money was used for milk, and it's not supposed to be used for milk. We must put the money for milk in the same or in the certain relevant category. If it's office expenses or whatever, it's fine. But I can't be having milk on my company books. Do you understand what I'm saying? I must put it on the under the right category. So we joining or being part of this you will know that there'll be times when you have to sit in a financial literacy course, and it will explain to you how you can do things. Not that you can't do them, but how to do them correctly, And then DTI is not just next to 𝗖𝗶𝚃. I say it again. It offers courses that has to do with business. They teach you marketing 101. They'll teach you finances, especially. They'll teach you meetings, what happens and what goes on. They teach you most of the important aspects of business, because they exist to make sure that the business thrives. And then they know people don't have those things, and some people might not be able to afford to go to for example, Mashood, you have coaching, the coaching sessions, whereby that's how you make a living or whatever, but it's your skill, it's your business. So we cannot be expecting you to give it to people for free. You understand? So it is not, it doesn't make sense to give out for free, because you also are putting in the work to do the coaching, and you also coached and were coached by someone. So people must understand that it cannot just be free, So
say it louder. I hope they're listening.
It's not possible, whether I afford it or not. At the end of the day, when you put your price, because that's how you feel it is worth your time and preparation and stuff. You understand? Yeah. So some people cannot afford it, and then the government comes in to say, we can give you until this part. When you're fine, you can go to others who are doing it detailed, because we can't do it like that, because we also need to be doing other people and doing other things. So they'll give you a start, like a push, Yeah. So there's this guy, okay, people have issues with him. My issue, the thing that I like to talk about Moyena is how worth he knows himself. So Mizi, when you hire him and want services from him, he will be straight and tell you how much that will be worth. And it ends there. So you either take it like that, or you move to the second person. And if you know what you want, and you know that he can do it, you know that he's gonna do it to the best. Do you understand? And it's going to give your event what you want. So you need to pay for that, because you can do it. Do you understand? Yes. So I think we can look at such people in terms of how they are looking at their worth. Yeah. So these courses, they also tell you how you should react to money. When you find that you have money and you don't even know where it comes from, before you can spend it, check other things and say, maybe I made a mistake. I was supposed to pay that person 1,000. I gave the person 200. Why am I 800 rands more? Where does it come from? Obviously, you don't have a snake, so it means it comes from somewhere. So it came from somewhere. Yeah. So now it also makes you critical in thinking, and it doesn't go on business only. When you have meetings and you sit down and you listen, like, this person, what they're saying, it actually makes sense, and you reflect. Yeah, it's a whole lot. So financial, even on the constitution that you'll be making, you'll decide and say, I always say to the people that I sit with and talk to this about, and say, if we made a million of a profit means we have already paid back what we used. So after everything that we paid, your petrol, your materials, your whatever, then we are left with 1 million. Example, the million is the profit. Firstly, we need to know that you need to pay the company. You need to pay the company. The company needs to be paid. Who is the company? The company is the building, not a person. Yes, the company is the entity. So you put into the company, and then we need to write on that constitution that when we have a certain amount, how much percentage goes into the company. Let's say we have put it that 20%, because obviously the company must take more than we individually. Yeah. So let's say we say 20% goes to the company. So 80, the rest of it, we divide it by the number of the people in a cooperative. So you know that if it's 20% of 1 million, what is left, and that which is left, let's say what's left is 700,000. We take 700,000, we divide it by the number of us. Maybe we are 7. That's how we are going to get paid. Do you understand? Yes. And obviously there's stages, there's things that happen, and sometimes we might not be able to pay ourselves, but the company must always be paid. If we find that we didn't make a lot, but the company must always be, it's better to pay the company and not get anything, because the company needs to have that hold. It needs to get, even if it's not a lot, maybe we made 5,000, we can't give ourselves 200 rands. So we take the money and give it to the company, and we agree. The only agreement will be that if it's less than a certain amount, we don't have to share it. Maybe the whole thing can go into the company, because we know what it does when we go there. When we need anything, when we have issues, we can always go back to that which we pay first, that which we take care of. Yeah, so people must understand that sometimes we might make a profit, but we don't get to take a lot. Or we take a lot, and maybe when we take a lot, like the take a lot, maybe when we take a lot, it will sustain us for other 2 times when we will not be able to take anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how business works. No business person will tell you that I'm making 15,000 every day. It's not possible. It will fluctuate. It will change. It will go down. It will go up. There'll be a graph, and you'll see, okay, this time I think I make better. Let me do what I always do in this era. I think traveling to Eastern Cape helps me. It gets me people. So whatever. So you'll sit down and look at your graph and see when you made and want to always maybe go up. Yeah. So it's not an easy thing. I don't want to lie to you, but it's a doable thing, especially when people are willing to grow, educate themselves, learn together, grow together, and raise their families, knowing that I'm in a cooperative and it's my life. If I don't make it my life, I'm not going to be able to yield the good results, because I will not be giving it enough time. Yeah. The last point is that you might find that we are 7 and 4 of the people are working full time, right? And 3 of the people are working part time, but they have enough time. So the 4 people going to work in the morning, Monday to Friday, they must do the work that the other 3 is doing on weekends, so that when we put a log, we know that they were at work, but at work, they are working for their families, not our company. So that for us doesn't count, because then if I'm going to meet someone during the week, you are at work, there's nothing that you did for that. So weekend, you can write the minutes or catch up, but you must do, and I maybe rest on the weekend, because then during the week, I'm doing the cooperative work. Do you understand? So people must just understand that part, that when you're working and you're not yet able to leave your work for the cooperative, you need to put the work that others are doing during the week, when they're available, to go and do it when you are at work, doing it for you on weekends. So you have to structure a way and say, my family, I have Saturday, I only have 4 hours with you. The rest I'm doing the cooperative work. Because at the end of the day, when the cooperatives pay and you get paid twice.
Oh, yes.
Some people are going to get paid once because they're only doing the cooperative work. Do you understand? And if the DTIs and everything, they have courses during the week, you will take your leave and attend the course, because everyone must be knowing what we've done. So yeah, if they give you a certificate like this, everyone will have it and we'll put it in our profile. I can't be having it for you. No, you must have it. You must know what they said. You must have done the exercise, so that when we talk about it, you all know. I can't be coming and teaching you. You must know. You must also go. Do you understand? Obviously, there'll be dates, and so it's tricky, because some people are working, and we're not saying leave the work. Maybe they'll leave the work later when we are up there and we are established and our profile is good. When someone sees the profile, says, people have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. I can trust these people. They've been in the game for like 3, 4 years. You know how it goes, Mashudu, in business. They don't look at what you've done, but how long you've been.
Yes.
It's more like it has given them sometimes some training time to fall and fail and come back. They don't care much about what you've done. No, how long have you been doing? This is the only saying, if you have 5 years in doing something, and sometimes you're doing 5 years, but you're good. Yes. So your profile, whatever you do, it must be profiled and say these people, they went to what. And in other words, on the other side of the file, there'll be a documentation for the founders, what they've done, what they've been doing, how are they skilling themselves. So even someone, when they look at it, they see that you are taking time to equip yourself business-wise.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Tshego. So we learned a lot about cooperatives, that you have to have your own constitution, be knowledgeable, and also show up. Those 5 people or 10 people need to show up, and also learn about yourself and be accountable and also document. I love that. What is your final word as we finish up? And to anyone who's just joined as well, if you've got questions, do type. She'll come back to them. So what is your final word as we leave today on this beautiful Friday?
I think we need to take money seriously and know that before you can even take out something, you need to invest. The business will start with nothing. You can decide on the first 2 years and say, we are putting 500 rands each. In 2 years' time, when someone wants to give you money, they find that you are disciplined in putting your own money. So they'll add on it, unlike starting you with the whole big capital. So those things you need to learn from finances and books and stuff, that before someone can assist you, they must find you with something. They must find you with an existing banking account, and it will have a trend and say, okay, these people are serious. Whether we put 200 rand a month, but we need to put some money. So you need to know that business is money. If we didn't want money, we wouldn't go to business. If we didn't want to make our lives better financially, we wouldn't go to business. So the money aspect of business is very important. Cooperatives is worse because it's not only you, it's you and your members. I would advise people to look at this. I would advise people to look at other ways of doing cooperatives. I would advise people to contact me if they want to know something, or if they have a group and they want me to come and tell them whatever. I will do it free of charge. I'm in Pretoria. If you're in Rustenburg, obviously it's going to be something else, but let me know. I'll make a way. I feel like I need to do this. Whether we do it online, sometimes it's nice online because then everybody can join in and, we clock it, because then we are sitting in our own places. We don't have to travel. We don't have to use petrol. My email address is 𝗖cie_Monyamane3@gmail.com. My number 0828468170. Oh, sorry. Am I fast?
I'm typing.
𝗖cie_Monyamane3@gmail.com.
It's one word.
Yeah, one word, no punctuation.
Tshego Monyamane
the number 3, yeah, and then at gmail.com. And then my number is 082
yes
8468
yes
170.
Yes.
Send me a message, text me, and I like things written because then I can simply write back and you can have it forever, unlike on the phone. And then, yeah, guys, please look at, we don't have to be struggling in corporate and the toxicity and the whatever corporate comes, because we want salaries. We can do stuff. We can take that leap of faith and trust God and say, God, I don't want to be here. I want to be here. Please give me wings. I want to fly. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to make myself proud. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. So I trust everyone learned, because we're in class today and you learned of the challenges and how to navigate them. And I'm grateful for you coming back to do this as well. So that's a wrap. What a lovely way to end our Friday. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everyone who was stuck with us. I know it's not easy, but these things has to be said. And when you get it from someone who's just like you, you feel you can do it already. Thank you so much. Be blessed.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.